Hello, everyone. Welcome to another power packed episode of Reinvent to Rise. I am so glad you're here. And today's topic, it might just be the most important topic yet. We're talking about the power of reinvention. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. All right. Okay, so we're talking about power of reinvention, and I want you to take a breath with me right here, right now. Okay, because if you've been feeling stuck, if you have been feeling stuck, you may have wondered why the world feels uncertain and let me make sure I am moving my slides here. But I want you to understand what I'm sharing on the screen with you right now. You can't become who you're meant to be by staying who you are. And before you start saying, well, I need to be true to myself, I totally get that. But in order to walk into where you are meant to be, it is so critical that you understand there needs to be something that shifts. All right. So, why reinvention? Okay. Why reinvention? And I want us to really think about that today. Why reinvention? Okay. This message about reinvention is something you need to take a moment and identify and recognize that the world is shifting very, very fast. Jobs are evolving, industries are changing. AI and automation are rewriting the rules in areas that we can't even begin to comprehend yet. But this conversation isn't about fear, but it's about power. Okay? So because you don't need to fear change when you're equipped to reinvent. Reinvention isn't a trend. It's a survival tool. It's a success strategy. It's a personal revolution. You can't become who you are meant to be by staying who you are. So, what is reinvention? What is reinvention? I want us to look into this for a few seconds, a few minutes this afternoon. Reinvention is definitely not about erasing your past. It's not about running away. It's not about stamping away the past. No, it's about stepping intentionally into a truer, stronger, more aligned version of you. So say this with me in your heart. I can evolve without losing who I am. I can evolve without losing who I am. The real essence of reinvention is what we're going to talk about. So, as we move forward, we need to think about what makes reinvention so powerful. What makes it so powerful? All the examples we've shared on our previous calls, all the people that I have seen on earth that I have had the opportunity and the privilege to connect with, and I have seen them reinvent themselves, there is something about reinvention that is so powerful. We have to know and recognize the power that it has. And that's one of the reasons we titled today's session, The Power of Reinvention. Okay? So we're going to go into it. There are 4 reasons, okay? And number 1, reinvention puts you back in control. You might be wondering, I'm not out of control. But when you're in control, you stop waiting for someone else to choose you. You choose yourself. There's a difference. You choose yourself. Number two, it creates new outcomes. You can't get new results from an outdated version of you. Number three, it builds resilience. Resilience. You become flexible, adaptable, and unshaken. Unshaken. Think about that. And number four, it opens doors. You start showing up in rooms you were once afraid to enter or didn't even know existed, right? So now let's pause a moment. Let me ask you something very real. Okay? I'm going to change my slides now. Something very, very real. Are you bored but busy? Do you feel like you've outgrown your environment? Are you constantly asking, is this all there is? Do you know that there is more, but you can't quite reach it? If that's you, it might be time to reinvent. Not because you're broken, but because you're growing. And growth is critical. Okay? All right. So I'm going to pause for a second. I want to make sure that I am sharing the right slide with you. We've talked about globally, the impact of what's going on globally. And I want you to really think about that as you're connecting with why you should be reinventing yourself. Okay, now let's talk about what happens when you don't reinvent yourself. What happens when you don't reinvent yourself? I've got 3 words on my screen sharing with you. Stagnation. Ever heard of that word? Stagnation? Just kind of like same old every time. But there isn't any growth. There's power in repetition, but there's no power in stagnation. Irrelevance. Irrelevance. Do you want to be relevant? That's the question. And if you want to be relevant, reinvention is so critical. And then last but not the least, regrets. Regrets. Time flies so much. For those of you who have children, you will know what I am talking about. One moment you are carrying that little toddler. The next, they're going off to uni. And then the next, it's their wedding day. And you look back and dang, where has all the time gone? And therefore, living intentionally is so important for us. If we want to reinvent ourselves, we are ensuring that we don't have too many regrets of things we could have done incrementally over a period of time. Right. Okay. So on my screen again, I have written here, sign that you are due for reinvention. We talked about this in the past, if any of you can remember. So I won't belabor that point again. And so now that we have looked at what happens if you don't reinvent, we've talked about stagnation, irrelevance, the risk of resentment is also one thing you need to think about towards yourself and towards others. I have seen so many situations where couples come and each person is just pointing finger at the other person as the cause of their woes. We either pay the price of reinvention or the price of staying stuck. We either pay with one of them. So, how do you start reinventing? I'm not asking you to move to another country or quit your job tomorrow. Okay? I am not asking you to do that. Right. I'm sure you see my screen. What does reinvention actually look like? Okay? So we're going to go through that now. Step one, you need to audit your life. Ask yourself what's no longer working and what's really working very well. Step two, choose one area to shift, one habit, one mindset, one skill. Step three, commit to 90 days. That's why we created the Reinvention Challenge, the 90 days action challenge for daily movement, real support, and clear progress. Okay? And as I am speaking, I'm sure many of you might have questions, you might have thoughts that are going through your mind. Feel free to post them at the bottom of this video. We will address these questions in our next session. Really excited and looking forward to seeing those comments and those questions or feedback. Okay, so let's put down a few lies that make people feel stuck or makes them actually stuck. Because these are lies, okay? These are lies. One of them, it's too late. It's too late. The truth, it's just time. I don't have money. Second, I don't have money. I don't have resources. I don't have anything. You don't start with resources. You start with a decision. Okay? What if I fail? Point three. My question to you is, what if you rise? What if you rise? 4, I missed my moment. Ooh, now doors are opening every single day. If you're breathing, you're not done. This is a season where everyone, literally everyone in the world is re-equipping, reinventing themselves and relearning a lot of things because we are in that season. There is a shift going on. What better time for it to be your time? Okay, so here is your call today that I am challenging you with. Reinvention is not about perfection, it's about direction, right? It's the season isn't about waiting for opportunities to find you. We are no more in that season where you're just waiting. Who's going to give me a job? Who's going to show me what to do? Who's going to help me? It's about becoming the kind of person who creates them. You create job opportunities. You create new beginnings. If you've been waiting on a sign, this is it. This is the sign that you have the opportunity. So, 3 practical steps to begin right now. We've gone through that before, but I am repeating it again. Audit your life, choose one area to shift, and commit to 90 days to do that. Recognize that your power isn't in your past, but it's in the pivot. It's in the pivot. Pivot doesn't mean pack your bags and go to one dream country just because that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, you've been planning it, lucky you, do that. Pivot isn't about just, oh, well, you know what? I'm tired of all this. I quit my job today. No, I have resigned quite a few times in my career, but every time I have done it with a plan. I have done it intentionally. I have done it because it's required at that time. Again, I repeat, reinventing yourself is not about making drastic decisions, but it's about putting one block in front of the other in order to ensure that you are in motion towards your desired goal. Okay? So make sure that you're taking note of that. And so we will be talking about what are the next steps. Next step is one, if you have a question, share it in the chat. And we will be looking at that and make sure we respond and respond at our next session. Second next step is get into the 90 days program, the 90 days action program. It's 90 days, one goal, real progress. As you're watching this video, there are some of us that are online doing 90 days challenge of going live and doing something for 30 minutes towards our goal. And I know that some of you have thought, what can 30 minutes do? I was so delighted to hear yesterday when somebody commented during the challenge that they had come in thinking, I'm never going to get much done in 30 minutes. And they were so excited at what they could do in that 30 minutes that they had committed to turning up for. It's about showing up to make real progress. You can show up here on the YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything to do that, or you can pay $1.99, like $1.99. So that lets you know that this is not about the money, but it's about making it accessible to everyone. And join our community, because we share a whole bunch of stuff in there that we obviously did not put out on YouTube. But whatever the case might be, you want a free challenge or you want a $1.99 challenge, it doesn't matter what choice you make. What matters is that you're making a choice. And with that, I'll wrap up for today and wish you a fantastic weekend doing that which takes you incrementally towards your desired goal. Have a wonderful weekend.